As you grew up, were you ridiculed, constantly judged or shamed? Were you punished for making mistakes? If so, there's a high chance you struggle with procrastination as an adult. But here's the thing. Procrastination isn't always about being lazy or undisciplined. For some of us, it's actually a survival strategy, one that developed in response to emotionally painful childhood experiences. Childhood criticism leads to fear of failure. Children who were frequently criticized or held to unrealistic standards often develop a deep fear of failure. Procrastination becomes a way to avoid the emotional weight of disappointment or potential punishment. Being a child can be painful. The meanings we attach to those early experiences don't just disappear. They shape how we show up later in life. Your brain is just trying to keep you safe. Your brain is wired to protect you from pain. When your nervous system is dysregulated, when you're stuck in a constant state of alert, even basic tasks can feel overwhelming. Your brain might associate tasks, deadlines, or expectations with danger. So, when you're faced with a challenge, your inner dialogue goes something like, "Danger. That's not safe. We're not doing that. Let's scroll social media instead. Or clean the house. That's productive, right? Also, it's getting late. Maybe tomorrow?" Avoiding the task feels safer than risking criticism or judgment. That's not laziness. It's a trauma-informed freeze response. And when procrastinating does temporarily lower your anxiety, your brain learns to repeat it. It becomes a loop. If you struggle with low self-esteem, you're even more vulnerable to this cycle because the emotional cost of failing feels so much higher. Perfectionism equals protection. Many trauma survivors become perfectionists. Why? Because doing things perfectly was the only way they felt safe, accepted, or loved. But perfectionism is paralyzing. The fear of doing it wrong is so intense that your brain says, "Let's just not do it at all." So, you procrastinate. If you were raised to believe your worth is based on what you do, not who you are, then falling behind or making mistakes feels like a threat to your identity. Procrastination becomes a defense mechanism, a way to avoid that threat. Dopamine dysfunction. Trauma can also impact the brain's dopamine system, the part that drives motivation and action. So even when you want to get started, your brain may literally struggle to get going. So, how do you start healing? Recognizing that procrastination might be a trauma response is step one. Here's what can help. Be compassionate with yourself. You're not broken. You adapted to survive. Break tasks into tiny, manageable steps. This helps your nervous system feel safe. Embrace discomfort gradually. Start with small, mildly uncomfortable tasks. The more your brain sees that nothing bad happens, the more resilient it becomes. Use body-based practices like somatic breathing, shaking, or tapping to calm your nervous system before starting a task. Work with a trauma-informed therapist or coach if you can, someone who truly understands the connection between trauma and behavior. Sometimes, procrastination isn't about the task at all. It's about what that task represents to a nervous system that learned certain situations weren't safe. You're not lazy. You're healing. If this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video.